Hello, everybody. Miss Debbie here. I'm in the library, so I have my mask on, but nobody's in the room right now, so I can take it off for story time. Masks are still good for preventing the spread of germs, also washing your hands a lot. So, just to remind you, in a couple of weeks on November 16th, it's a Tuesday, we'll be having story time on the lawn at 3:30. So be there or be square. We had a beautiful, fun time of it last time. A lot of kids came. And we'll do it again. I have some new stories that Miss Sam picked out. So let's start. Hello, everybody. How are you? How are you? How are you? Hello, everybody. How are you? How are you today? I hope you're fine. If you wave like this, or like the Queen, the Pope, however you wave, it's a greeting. So let's do our finger song, um, which is very good exercise for my youngest friends. Okay, make two fists. Put your hands in your lap. Where is Thumpkin? Where is Thumpkin? Here I am. Here I am. How are you today, sir? Very well, I thank you. Run away, run away. So we're learning about manners. And when somebody asks how you are, you say, I'm fine, thank you. And then you say, and how are you? And these finger people, they bow to each other, which is a sign of courtesy. We don't do that too much anymore. It's a shame. We've lost some of our good protocols. Where is Pointer? Where is Pointer? Here I am. Here I am. How are you today, sir? Very well, I thank you. Run away. Run away. Where is Tall Lady? Where is Tall Lady? Here I am. Here I am. How are you today, ma'am? Very well, I thank you. Stride away. Stride away. Where is Ringman? Where is Ringman? Here I am. Here I am. How are you today, sir? Very well, I thank you. Run away. Run away. Ringman is very difficult to put up by himself. It's hard, so don't worry about it too much. What's our last little finger called? Yes, Pinky. Where is Pinky? Where is Pinky? Here I am. Here I am. How are you today, dude? Very well, I thank you. Skip away. Skip away. Well, remember the story of the gingerbread man? I'll run and run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. The gingerbread man was a cookie, and ultimately he was caught by a sly fox and gobbled up. But that's what cookies are for. This is about a bad apple. Now, I like this book because it's all about a green apple. Granny Smith apples. Love them. They make the best pie and applesauce, in my opinion. Bad Apple. This is by Hugh Lewis Jones and Ben Sanders. Look at that apple. Looking to bother the cat. This is Apple. He's a nasty piece of fruit. Just you wait. Apple and pear. Life's not fair. It was Pear's chair. He's a bit of a bully. Apple and pea. Oh, dearie me. He drank pea's tea. How rude. Apple and cat. Now fancy that. He stole cat's hat. Ay, ay, ay. Apple and Spud with one big thud pushed in the mud. I don't know people do that to each other anymore, push each other around. He spoiled Spoon's tune. He broke Egg's leg. He pinched Peach and Plum, and then Plum's mom. Are you noticing some rhyming words? This would be a good book if you're a beginning reader to sound out the words. Take a look at them. Apple and orange. Well, that was never going to work. People say you can't compare apples and oranges. They're too different. Apple and rose. Guess how it goes. He stood on his toes to pull Rose's nose. How rude. Apple and pie? He told a lie. That made him cry. Then he poked Pie's eye. Such a bad apple. Poked Pie in the eye. Apple and Snake began to bake. But what a mistake. Apple ate Snake's cake. Ooh. Better not be rude when you're just food. Look what happened here. Snake ate the apple, and he's wearing Cat's hat. There's the apple. That's how snakes eat, They just swallow something whole, and it just sits there for weeks until it digests. Apple said, "Oh, bother." And there's P holding up his little cup for tea. Isn't that a silly book? But it's good rhyming book. Here's a picture of the author, Hugh, and the illustrator, Ben. Bad apple. This is Apple. He's not a normal, nice kind of apple, not a peaceful piece of fruit. No, sir. He's rotten to the core. The end. But let's sing a song about friends. It goes like this. Skidamarinka-dink-a-dink, skidamarinka-doo. I love you. Skidamarinka-dink-a-dink, skidamarinka-doo. I love you. I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening and underneath the moon. Oh, skidamarinka-dink-a-dink, skidamarinka-doo. I love you. Cha-cha-cha. I like that song. Most of my friends like that too. So here's a book about manners. What Do You Say, Dear? By Cecily Joslin. And pictures by Maurice Sendak. This is an old book. It's called A Book of Manners for All Occasions. When I was a little girl and your age, we learned manners. Now it's up to librarians to read about manners and help you out learning your manners. This is a handbook of etiquette for young ladies and gentlemen to be used as a guide for everyday social behavior. So look at this picture. That's a boy bowing. How do you do? Very well, I thank you. And he bows. It's pretty good. I like these pictures. Oh, he's holding the door open for her. How lovely is that? What good manners. All right, let's find out. You are downtown and there is a gentleman giving baby elephants to people. You want to take one home because you have always wanted a baby elephant. But first, the gentleman introduces you to each other. What do you say, dear? How do you do? See, he bows. You are picking dandelions and columbines outside the castle. Suddenly, a fierce dragon appears and blows red smoke at you. But just then, a brave knight gallops up and cuts off the dragon's head. Yikes! What do you say, dear? Thank you very much. You are a cowboy riding around the range. Suddenly, Bad Nose Bill comes up behind you with a gun. Oh, he said, would you like me to shoot a hole in your head? Ooh, this is not a good page. But what do you say? No, thank you. I would not like that at all. You are a nurse and you rush to see a patient because a dinosaur bit him. You bandage him all up and he says, oh, nurse, you have saved my life. Thank you. And what do you say, dear? You're welcome. You have gone downtown to do some shopping. You are walking backwards because sometimes you like to, and you bump into a crocodile. What do you say, dear? Excuse me. You are at a wedding party because you are the bride. You have a fine husband and an enormous wedding cake, and you are going to live happily ever after. Only first, you are very, very hungry. What do you do, dear? Would you please pass the cake? That's what you say at the dinner table. Please pass the rice? You are at the princess's ball, and she is telling you a secret, but her orchestra of bears is making such a fearful lot of noise, you cannot hear what she is saying. What do you say, dear? I beg your pardon, I couldn't hear you. You go to London to see the Queen. She says, oh, you must stay for dinner. We are having spaghetti. So you do, and there is spaghetti for the appetizer, spaghetti for the main dish, and a spaghetti salad. By the time the Queen's Guard brings spaghetti for dessert, you cannot fit in your chair anymore and you want to leave the table. What do you say, dear? May I please be excused? Yes. Does anyone practice that anymore? May I be excused? You are flying around in your airplane and you remember that the Duchess said, do drop in for tea sometime. So you do, only it makes a rather large hole in her roof. What do you say, dear? I'm sorry. You are a dangerous pirate, and you have captured a fine lady to take on your ship. Every morning when you untie her so she can eat breakfast, she says, good morning. How are you? What do you say, dear? Fine, thank you. And how are you? All your friends come to your house for a party. The princess brings her orchestra of bears and they play two dances, but then they want to eat everybody up. What do you say, dear? This is the end. Goodbye. This was a good book, except for that awful part about, well, we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to remember our manners. So, I do have two Halloweeny books because it's still the season and I didn't want you to miss out on some of these fine stories. This is called Big Pumpkin by Erica Silverman. It's one of my favorites. It's an old one too. Published in 1992. Ooh, I've been telling this story for a long time. Do you like pumpkin pie, by the way? I don't really. It has to be loaded with pumpkin ice cream. But not a pumpkin pie. I like apple pie. I like lemon meringue pie, custard pie, pumpkin not so much. Once there was a witch who wanted to make pumpkin pie, so she planted a pumpkin seed. She weeded and watered, and after a while a sprout poked through. And then a pumpkin grew, and it grew, and it grew, and then it grew some more. Did you know that witch actually means wise woman? So when a woman gets older, um, she looks older, and and she's wise because she's lived all those years. Has nothing to do with, being witchy or bad or riding on broomsticks, but it has a lot to do with being wise and knowing things. It's very dry in here, don't you think? Soon Halloween was just hours away. The witch thought about pumpkin pie and bent down to take her pumpkin off the vine. Ooh, look how big it is. She has a funny mouth, don't you think? That's weird. She has a big chin and a big nose. Well, she pulled and she tugged and she pulled. First she pulled hard and then she pulled harder, but that pumpkin just sat. Drat, said the witch. Just then along came a ghost. Big pumpkin, said the ghost. It's big and it's mine, but it's stuck on the vine, and Halloween is just hours away, said the witch, and she kicked that pumpkin. I am bigger than you and stronger too, boasted the ghost. Let me try. Humph, said the witch, but she thought about pumpkin pie and stepped aside. Well, the ghost bent down to take the pumpkin off the vine. He pulled and he tugged and he pulled. First he pulled hard and then he pulled harder, but that pumpkin just sat. Drat, said the ghost. Just then along came a vampire. Big pumpkin, said the vampire. It's big and it's mine, but it's stuck on the vine, and Halloween is just hours away, said the witch, and she kicked that pumpkin. I am bigger than both of you and stronger too, boasted the vampire. Let me try. Humph, said the witch. Humph, said the ghost. But they thought about pumpkin pie and stepped aside. The vampire bent down to take the pumpkin off the vine. Well, he pulled and he tugged and he pulled. First he pulled hard and then he pulled harder, but that pumpkin just sat. Drat, said the vampire. Just then along came a mummy. Big pumpkin, said the mummy. It's big and it's mine, but it's stuck on the vine, and Halloween is just hours away, said the witch, and she kicked that pumpkin. I am bigger than all of you and stronger too, boasted the mummy. Let me try. Humph, said the witch. Humph, said the ghost. Humph, said the vampire. But they thought about pumpkin pie and stepped aside. The mummy bent down to take the pumpkin off the vine. Well, she pulled and she tugged and she pulled. First she pulled hard and then she pulled harder, but that pumpkin just sat. Drat, said the mummy. Just then along came a bat. Big pumpkin, said the bat. The witch didn't say a word. She just looked at the ghost and rolled her eyes. The ghost looked at the vampire. The vampire looked at the mummy. They all looked at the little bat and they started to laugh. I may not be big and I may not be strong, said the bat, but I have an idea. And the bat told them what to do. Humph, said the witch. Humph, said the ghost. Humph, said the vampire. Humph, said the mummy. But they thought about pumpkin pie and bent down to take the pumpkin off the vine. Ready, set, pull, called the bat. The bat pulled the mummy pulled the vampire pulled the ghost pulled the witch pulled the pumpkin. Well, they pulled and they tugged and they pulled. First they pulled hard and then they pulled harder. And snap! Off came the pumpkin. Drat! Said the witch. Whoosh! It flew and it flew, and thud! It landed on top of a hill, and thump bump, thump bump, thump bump. It bounced all the way down to the witch's house. And when it got to her door, that pumpkin just sat. Hooray for the bat! Shouted the witch, and she hurried inside to make pumpkin pie. Said the ghost. Have some more, said the witch. I couldn't eat another bite, said the vampire. Fun party, said the mummy. Time to go, said the bat. They're all eating pumpkin pie. There's the bat. Drat, said the witch, as she watched them all leave, and then she went right out and planted another pumpkin seed. I love this book. It's called Big Pumpkin. It's my favorite classic. One more Halloween book. It's called The Halloweener. So you probably know, like that's a frankfurter or a hot dog or a wiener. Different parts of the country call that food by different names. It's fun. This is by Dave Pilkey, The Halloweener. And look at the title is even made to look like they're pieces of hot dogs. There once was a dog named Oscar who was half a dog tall and 1.5 dogs long. By the way, you're going to look at these pictures and see beautiful autumn leaves and pumpkins, but if you look closely, you'll see a couple of ornery cats hanging around. They're kind of like bad apples. Because of his unusual shape and size, all the other dogs made fun of him. Wiener dog, they called him. And Oscar did not like it one bit. Oscar's mother was no help either. Every morning when the dogs walked off to obedience school, Oscar's mother stood in the front yard, waving and calling out, "Farewell, my little Vienna sausage." Oh, the other dogs laughed and laughed. Even the cats are laughing. Most of the time, Oscar was upset by all this, but not today. Today was Halloween, and Oscar was thinking about other things. All day long at obedience school, Oscar daydreamed about Halloween night, trick-or-treats, and scary costumes. When Oscar got home, he dashed upstairs to start working on his scary Halloween costume. But when he got to his room, a surprise was waiting for him. Look at that old-fashioned telephone. Wow. Happy Halloween, my little sausage link, said Oscar's mother. I've made you a costume to wear for trick-or-treats. When Oscar saw the costume, he nearly fainted. It was a giant hot dog bun, complete with mustard, and guess who was supposed to fit in the middle? I've seen costumes like this for dogs. Oscar did not want to hurt his mother's feelings, so he decided to wear the silly costume. Aw, nice little boy. That night, all the dogs on the block gathered to show off their costumes. Everyone was looking quite scary. Then Oscar showed up looking quite frank. When the dogs saw Oscar in his silly costume, they howled with laughter. Look at Oscar, they cried. He really is a wiener dog. And poor Oscar was so embarrassed. Wiener dog, laughed the other dogs as they ran off to go trick or treating. Oscar tried to keep up with the dogs, but his silly costume kept slowing him down. All night long, the other dogs hounded every treat they could get their paws on. That's rude. So by the time Oscar got to each house, there were no treats left. Soon trick or treating was over, and the dogs walked home past a spooky graveyard. Suddenly, a horrible hissing sound filled the air. Hiss! The dogs stopped dead in their tracks. Then, out of the graveyard rose a ghastly monster. The dogs screamed for their lives. They dropped their treats and jumped into a nearby pond. The monster moved closer. Please don't eat us, cried the dogs. The monster yowled and hissed. Boo-hoo, sobbed the dogs. The monster jumped up and down. Somebody save us, shrieked the dogs. Just then, somebody showed up. It was Oscar. Because Oscar was so short, he saw something that the other dogs had not seen. That's no monster, cried Oscar, and with a loud bark, Oscar waddled to the rescue. Oscar chomped and tugged with all his might. Can you see what's under the costume through the moonlight? And rip! There, standing in the moonlight, were a couple of ornery cats. Help, cried the cats. We're being attacked by a giant frankfurter. And they ran off screaming through the graveyard. The dogs in the pond had seen the whole thing, and now it was their turn to be embarrassed. We've been chased into a pond by a couple of cats, they moaned. But Oscar was a true friend. He leaped into the water and swam out to the dogs. Oscar's silly costume made a wonderful life raft, and the dogs climbed up. All aboard, Oscar called, and he dog paddled back to shore. When they got back to dry land, all the dogs shared their Halloween treats with Oscar. Because Oscar had been so brave, the dogs changed his nickname from Wiener Dog to Hero Sandwich. And from that night on, nobody ever made fun of Oscar again. Happy Halloween. I hope you had a happy Halloween and got lots of treats and not too many tricks. Oh, so it's just about time to snuggle into Lily White's party. And it's dark out already. When you look up, and who do you see? Twinkle. Starlight, star bright. First star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might have the wish I wish tonight. Make a wish. Oh, I just made a good wish for myself. I'm going to make it come true. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Good night, Twinkle. We'll see you tomorrow. We might see you in the morning because you're still there in the morning sky. Isn't that wonderful? So if you get a chance, look up in that dark sky. So Lily White's party is a clean bed with clean white sheets, and it's a nice party if you love bedtime. I used to have a friend in kindergarten, and she used to say, "Oh, I love my bed so much. I run home from school and I hug and kiss my bed." I feel like that sometimes. I love my bed. I love taking naps. Why not? So it's time for Lily White's party. Go hippity hop to bed. I'd rather stay up instead. When mother says must, there's nothing but just go hippity hop to bed. And how do we get ready for bed? We put on your jammies, put on our jammies, and this is the way we wash our face, wash our face, wash our face. This is the way we wash our face before we go to bed. This is the way we brush our teeth, brush our teeth, brush our teeth. This is the way we brush our teeth before we go to bed. This is the way we comb our hair, comb our hair, comb our hair. This is the way we comb our hair before we go to bed. This is the way we blow a kiss, blow a kiss, blow a kiss. This is the way we blow a kiss before we go to bed. Day is done, gone the sun, from the land, from the hills, from the sky. All is well, safely rest, sleep is nigh, sleep is near. I wish you good dreams and a good night's sleep, and wake up in the morning to a happy day. So there's another rhyme we used to sing. Oh, it's an old nursery rhyme. Wee Willie Winkie runs through the town, upstairs and downstairs in his nightgown. Peering through the windows and peeping through the locks, are the children in their beds? It's almost 8 o'clock. Well, this is a Wee Willie Winkie that was rewritten, I think, a really long time ago, and it goes like this: Wee Willie Winkie runs through the town, upstairs and downstairs in his nightgown, rapping at the window. That rapping goes like this: and searching all the nooks to count the many children reading library books. This is our new rhyme. I hope when story time is over that you can pick up a book and just look at the pictures and read a little bit. It's just nice to get your imagination going um, before you go to sleep. So here's my song for you. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. I love you. Sweet dreams. Have a good night and have a wonderful day tomorrow. I'll see you soon.